It's time to get all your Star Wars news in a single file. From Fantha Drax TV, this is Good Morning Tatooine!
Good morning, Tatooine indeed. We're back once again, not with your weekly recap of all the Star Wars and Lucasfilm news, but with a special episode where we're going to be focusing on Rogue One, purely because we've just finished reviewing Andor Season 2, so why not, Paul? Why not indeed?
Why not? You know, it's the sequel that was just sat there waiting. So, yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
I didn't even give us a proper introduction. I'm your host, Brian Callum, and with me, as always, my partner in crime, Mr. Paul Naylor. Hi, Paul.
Hello. Yeah, no, it's all my fault that we're doing a pre-record because I'm actually away on my holidays. So,
holidays? How many holidays a year is that?
I think this is the 7th. And there's one more to come in December.
Just one more in December.
Oh, dear.
Shocking.
Yes.
Shocking.
I know, it's terrible. But yes, so we came to the end of our run of your brilliant analysis of Andor. By the way, it was really good what you did. And we talking off air. We said, well, let's go straight into Rogue One. So who knows? Maybe after this we'll do a New Hope. Empire.
The next special in December will be a New Hope.
That's right. part of the new trilogy, because there's a lot of people have been sort of citing that as a trilogy now, haven't they? Andor is effectively the first, then Rogue One, and then A New Hope as its own little thing, which is quite nice actually. The Death Star Trilogy.
Death Star Trilogy, indeed. And on that note, we should head over to our special segment with the fancy graphic called The Death Star Cometh.
Hey, we thought it was over, but it's back.
This time the Death Star is a cometh.
It well and truly cometh.
And we, on top of that, we are going to have the wrong graphic because I haven't updated it. And so we're going to change it live. I just realised that, Paul. This is how prepped. This is how prepped.
That's pretty close. I mean, you know, I'd say...
We're literally just finishing Andor. And now it's Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
There we go.
And of course, this all happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, so we haven't had time to prep.
Yeah, I mean, this film's only been out the best part of 10 years.
Yes. And it had its own unique kind of start because it didn't have a crawl.
No.
And rather than open with a Star Destroyer or some ship panning across the screen, we had, I guess, the asteroid belt, would it be?
Yeah, it was almost like travelling through the rings of Saturn, wasn't it?
It was a little bit.
That sort of vibe. Yeah, it was,
probably has a technical term. I'm calling it an
no,
asteroid, but I don't know.
I think you're right. I think that's what it was. And then what was it that was actually coming through space? Was it a shuttle?
Yeah, it was. Director Krennic's personal shuttle.
That's right.
And he's looking for Mr. Erso, who obviously was called out and name-checked in Andor multiple times.
Yeah.
And we meet his daughter, a little Jin, and the mother there with, I don't know what kind of animal she's been milking.
Old Lyra, yeah.
Yeah, it's a strange colour of milk.
Yes, that's really green.
They're all in a panic because obviously they've got the alert from their sentry droids that a shuttle is on its way, and they put in a call to their a rebel friend.
This was
a bald Saul Guerrero.
Yes, this is very weird, isn't it? Yeah, most of the time we see him with that mop of hair, but then sometimes we see him bald like this.
Because this isn't a direct link in from Andor, because this is a number of years before, 10 years, something like that would suggest, where Krennic,
of course, yes, this is
effectively
as a
holds hostage Erso and brings him back to build the Death Star.
Yeah.
So this was kind of the beginning of the big energy project.
Renewables.
Yeah. And we get flashbacks later in the series as well, but Mr. Director Krennic there, he's familiar with Lyra. Probably fair to say he wasn't Lyra's biggest fan.
Yeah.
And she pulls a gun on him, which would probably indicate that she wasn't a big fan of him either. And he does the classic Australian facial grimace. And for her troubles, Lyra gets a shot to the heart.
That's a great pause you've done there.
It is. I had to time it perfectly.
That's almost like in The Force Awakens. That's almost like the frozen bolt in the middle of the air. Yeah.
And little baby Jin, she's in hiding, but she's dropped her toy. So one of the troopers finds his little Labubu stormtrooper. He'll be pinning that to his handbag.
Oh dear.
And little Jin, as you can see her eyes just peeping out from the crack in the rock there.
There she is.
She's hiding in a specially made tunnel because obviously they knew one day this day was going to come. Yeah. And she stays in hiding until the aforementioned Saw Gerrera comes to, shall we say, rescue her?
I would say that's probably that's how he sees it anyway, I think, yeah.
Irresponsible parents leave their child to the care of a druggie, it would be fair to say. Who's also rebelling against the government in a violent manner.
Would he have been a druggie at that stage?
Well, he's got his breathing apparatus on.
True. Yeah, so, he's already there.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely not the best choice of godparent.
No.
And that's our kind of intro. That is effectively the sequence that is the opening crawl, because then we get our Rogue One title. Now, fast forward to...
When I first saw this years ago, I was a bit underwhelmed about the title and also the way they did the music. But then when I went to Star Wars Celebration the following year, I think it was when we saw the trailers for Episode 8, they explained the music. Now, the music actually follows the same sort of pattern as the Star Wars theme, but it's just sort of like they've shuffled some of the notes around a bit. It's a bit of a Morecambe and Wise thing. He's playing all the notes, but not necessarily in the right order. But
I'll have to have a listen to it again. I'm not sure I particularly really noticed that.
Yeah, it's really clever, actually. Yeah. But there we go.
So we're back in modern day. So we can say this is round about the time that Deidre's on Narkina 5, Jin's in her own little prisons elsewhere. Yeah. And bang up to date, we cut away to the Ring of Kafrene, which was mentioned in Andor. This is where Cassian was being sent to meet with his rebel spy and
Tivik,
and they exchange information, which, in all fairness, he doesn't really give much more than we already learnt in Andor, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
The general gist, I think, is that the Rebel Council, shall we call them, had more faith in what Tivik said over Luthen Rail. Yeah. I think is the general gist of it. They kill some stormtroopers, and then Cassian does the unthinkable, bullet to the back. Tivik dead.
And the first time you see that, you think, okay, this is a bit of an interesting character, old Andor. And then they mirrored that again when they went back and did Andor and had him with those two ISB officers.
Do you think your understanding of this scene changes having seen the Andor series?
I think I'd already got it that because Tivik was the sort of character that might be easy to get information from. The fact that he got a broken arm and wouldn't be able to get out of that situation as easily as Andor could, I think he saw him as a major compromise, and that for the greater good, to use a hot fuzz line, he offed him because that was all he thought he could do.
The bit that puzzles me was that the Rebel Council didn't really believe Cassian when Cassian was explaining the Emperor's energy
Yeah.
project
Yeah.
and the existence of the Death Star, which,
Yeah.
I support Emperor Palpatine, but I will criticise him. He didn't have the best naming conventions for Star Destroyers and Death Stars. It didn't instill confidence in the electorate. So yeah, I
Oh,
will
dear.
accept that criticism.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
to
fair
me, if
play
the
to...
Rebel Council didn't trust Cassian Andor and his source, Luthen,
Yeah. Yeah.
surely Cassian killing the only other verifiable source again makes at least an element of doubt over the information.
Well, yeah, I don't think he even had time to calculate that, though. I think it was just that I would have liked to have seen to in Andor so that we could have seen
Yes,
the relationship
I
between the two.
expected that, to be honest.
Yeah, I did. Of all the back characters, he was the one that I was pretty sure would turn up.
Even if it
Um,
was to form a friendship or a
yes,
deep connection with Cassian to make
so that it
this
made that
more
even.
significant, I
Yeah,
think.
absolutely, I agree. Yeah, that's exactly the reasoning behind why I think he should have been in it, and also I think it would have highlighted any weaknesses that into it that we could have then said, well, to be fair, Andor did have to get rid of him because he would have been a blabbermouth and tell everybody everything. So he got no choice really. So it would have allowed the audience to sort of not see it as such a heinous crime as perhaps it. Well, I mean, it's still pretty bad, isn't it? Let's be honest. Killing somebody's not always good. But it might have played more safely into the audience's hands if it had been shown slightly differently.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing that impresses me the most is how seamlessly Cassian filmed 8 or 9 years later, how he looks spot on for a film that he's done.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
sure if you pull out some videos of us 8 years ago, we'll look just as young, as handsome as we do now.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that boy band we were in. Whoa, those were the days, eh?
definitely. We then head to Jeddah.
Yeah.
And just so we recognise that this film is a rebellion propaganda, it refers to Jeddah as being an imperial occupied moon. Now, the Empire is a democratically elected government of the galaxy. So, Jeddah being a member state of the Galactic Empire, Imperials can't occupy it. They're and a third. How would you describe it? They are asserting authority for a disruptive nation, because there's people like Saw Gerrera, hardcore violent rebels on the planet.
They are the custodians of it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We get a little taste of Jeddah and its
Yeah.
history. It's linked to its historic link to the Jedi religion,
Yeah.
and with the monuments being destroyed in the desert.
Do you think that because we saw this that in is it Mangold's film that's supposed to be thousands of years ago? There's one of the upcoming projects that's set thousands of years before Star Wars. Do you think we'll see those statues on Jeddah all stood there in? I just think it'd be nice to
It
go
would
back
be
to
nice to
Jeddah.
see that. It
Yeah.
kind of reminds. Sounds. I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to. This kind of reminds me of Gaza, and with it being a destroyed desert planet, all
Yeah.
based around religion and the differences of opinion on religion. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting parallel. It obviously was never really intended, but
It's
when
very
people talk a
well.
lot about how Andor has connected
Yeah.
them to modern day politics,
Yeah.
you can take anything in any time like this made 10 years ago,
Yeah.
watch it today and find relevance to modern day content if it's well written and well made. And so whilst
Yeah.
Andor wasn't made necessarily to connect to modern day politics, because it was made a couple of years before things happened, same with this. You can find those connections in your own mind.
I think you can find if you go looking for it, you can find it anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We meet her Imperial transport pilot,
Bodhi Rook.
Bodhi Rook, and he has defected and he's looking to speak to Saw Gerrera. He has information he wants to partake.
Yeah.
And we flash back to Jin, still in jail, in a hard labour camp. And she's effectively rescued by the rebels looking for Jyn Erso.
Yeah.
But she tries to escape and she gets a whack right in the face from K2SO. Once again, a droid showing violence to a sentient being.
But at least that's all she got from him. I mean, she wasn't used as like a human shield.
Yep.
So
So at this point, the rebels have found who they're looking for in Jyn Erso. They want to find out if she knows anything about this Death Star project that her father's involved in, or whether she can connect them to her father.
Yeah.
Whilst they interrogate her, where would you take her?
Ooh, Yavin 4.
Well, I would have taken her to somewhere entirely remote that has no connection to where your secret rebel base is. But anyway, they take her to Yavin 4, and not only that, they put her in the main council room, and she gets to meet everybody. There's General Dodonna, the defected from the Empire. There's Cassian Andor, the head of intelligence. There's Mon Mothma, the traitorous senator. Well, and there's Bail Organa. If she says
That's
no
the
at
real
this
one.
point, what's going to happen to her?
It's the real one. Hooray!
She's pretty much in a corner. Help them or you're going to die. Shocking.
Here he is.
Effectively, they decide that they're going to try and connect Jyn with her father, who is on, how do you pronounce it, Edu?
Edu,
Which
yeah,
is
Edu.
effectively an Imperial scientific discovery planet.
Yeah.
And so Cassian's going to go with her, and so is K2SO. K2SO kindly informs her that he didn't want to go with her, but he was made to.
He's very direct, isn't he? He says what he thinks.
Bodhi, he gets to meet Saw Gerrera. Probably regrets it because it doesn't go particularly too well. And Saw Gerrera decides he doesn't want to trust him, that he's going to interrogate him instead. And we'll find out how just in a moment. Meanwhile, we see our first shot of the Emperor's beautiful new energy project, colloquially termed the Death Star. Not the best marketing idea. Kind of let down in the end, wasn't he, really? You know, he's spent a couple of decades since the Geonosians were involved in developing this project, and let down by the name in the end, really. People were going to get suspicious when you're spending money on a project called Death Star.
I'm going to call it Murder Weapon 1.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. But that was really cool, though. They retrofit the fact that the dish, as it's being put in, that Cassian actually helped to make that.
He did.
That was just bizarre.
That bit didn't fit. That's why they're mucking about with it here. To get Star Destroyers and stuff. Cassian didn't build that part correctly. And we meet for the first time CGI Grand Moff Tarkin.
What were your thoughts?
Of
of the Empire.
hero of the Empire, who unfortunately had an unfortunate parking incident on Gorman.
What did you think of the digital version of Tarkin?
I liked it.
I thought
There was little moments where there was movement of the full character, but like when he turned round, it was a little bit not smooth. But when it was just a straight to camera piece like this, I thought it worked really nice.
I think it was obviously not quite him, but then psychologically we already know that Peter Cushing died many years ago anyway, so it couldn't be him. So whether it's just your psyche can't get past that, I don't know. But for me, I thought it was a cracking idea to bring Tarkin back. Of all the things that you're thinking, oh, the Emperor's going to be in this, or there's going to be a really big role for Vader. No, this was the right thing to do. Give him some more love on the screen. So
And
yeah, it's
obviously, the
cool.
technology has moved massively forward in the last 10 years in terms of what
And
they can do.
again, yeah, they could do it
For
even better
example, I
now.
now watch every week a podcast with two cats presenting it, um, telling stories about what it is like to be the life of a cat. And
Is that what we base this on?
they're sat there with their microphones and their headsets on, chatting away. It's great content. Um, and they
I'm
look
gonna have to.
great.
I'm gonna have to watch that. I'm
I'm going
gonna
to
have to
send you a
watch.
clip. It's brilliant.
Please do.
And so the technology has moved on massively, but I thought at the time it was more than acceptable. I thought it was very well done. And it was done just enough.
Yeah, just a very quick story here then. So I was working for a regional newspaper at the time, and I'd gone in to see the editor, and we were just having chit chat, and he goes, "Got any plans for tonight?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to go and see the new Star Wars film at the midnight screening." Oh, brilliant! And I'd stayed pretty much away from any bit of info. I'd seen the trailers, but anything stayed away from. He goes, "Oh, isn't it brilliant that Tarkin's back?" And I went, "Yeah, yeah." That's the first I'd heard. So that kind of spoiled that for me, but still, what can you do?
I actually won a competition to see Rogue One at a special screening. There was a number of screenings all across the UK. I can't remember what the competition was, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, yeah,
Some social media garbage, I think. And I think it might have been O2 or something. And they did about
yeah.
6 or 7 screenings up and down the UK. And I went to a screening in Edinburgh, and you got a little goodie bag and everything. And then I can't remember her name, but the Edith Bowman, I think it was, did a little
Right.
introduction.
Yes. In fact, I can remember seeing clips of that.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
she was in London, and then it was transmitted live to various theatres around the UK, and I went to the Edinburgh one.
yeah.
And sadly, they massively overestimated how many people would accept the tickets for the screening who won.
Ah.
And so my theatre was only a third full.
Oh, right.
So they made us
Okay.
all. I wanted obviously all spread out because that's what you do in a theatre. You don't know anyone. I'm not going to sit next to people. It's like if you go to pee a urinal, you take the one furthest away from everyone else. So we were all spread out. So they made us all gather together and squeeze in so they could
Yeah.
narrow the viewpoint of the camera to make it look like the cinema was full just for their
Right.
little bit of social media content. Then they let us all spread out before the movie started again. It was the most PR thing I think I've ever done in my life.
I think that happens quite a lot.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was my experience of seeing Rogue One for the first time. Uh, and Krennic and Tarkin, I thought, had some great scenes together as well. Really played off well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
At this point, we get a little flashback of Little Jin,
Yeah,
back when she's full blown member of the Empire, signed up
yeah.
member along with her father and mother, and they're working for Krennic. Back in the day, look at his badges. He was doing well.
He
Should have
was
stuck
he,
in.
he's almost supervisor level at that McDonald's. He's
He
doing
was.
all right.
And you
Yeah.
see Jin's mother giving her a kyber crystal, which
Oh,
modern
hang
day
on.
modern day Jin um, is wearing, which was a nice parallel. Um, Back in Jeddah, you see
That's
how
a
it
nice shot.
is a great shot,
Yeah,
and it shows you
yeah.
how good the Empire are at
Parking.
supporting local law enforcement there by just a little show of force. Yeah, no violence. We'll just park here.
You're a twisted man there, Mr. Cameron. You're a twisted man.
Talking of twisted men, Bodhi and Borg Gullet, Saw Gerrera, effectively a mental torture. You would guess you would describe it of
I would say so.
Bodhi.
Yeah. What was Bull Gullet supposed to be? I mean, was it meant to
He
be
was
something
supposed
that,
to,
that searched your brains?
yeah, search your brains for the truth, and so that was going on Jeddah, whilst Jin and Cassian have gone into the city. Now, Cassian was aware of Jeddah prior to this film because they discussed it in Andor. He knew all about the city and kyber crystals and so on. It was all brought up. And earlier in this film, he was wearing a nice thin leather jacket. He's changed into a winter coat with a big muff, would be the way to describe it, to go to the desert planet. Anyone want to provide any kind of explanation for that? Because I can't find one.
It was a strange shift of gear, wasn't
it? It was. You'll also notice when you talk about shifting gears, look at the way that our neck chief is there, and then when the camera changes, it's a completely other way. Continuity, people. Continuity. What's going on?
Me.
Anyway, while Cassian's away trying to find out some information, Jin meets a local. Who is that local?
Ah, yes. Now, this is Chirrut Imwe.
It is.
Donnie Yen, the Ip Man.
Yes, that's a good point. A lot of criticism, I think, probably unfair because stereotypical blind monk. But I thought it worked really rather nicely.
I thought he was brilliant. Yeah. I've got no issues with this character. I thought he was very cool, very well. Like you say, he was like something out of Monkey.
Yeah, and not a Jedi, but a Jedi supporter. But he has obviously some Force ability because he sensed the kyber crystal. And between him and his partner in crime, they're guardians of the wills.
Yeah.
Cassian notices them, and Jin speaking to them, he kind of calls Jin away. And there is his partner in crime, Big Guns, as I like to call him.
Old Baze Malbus.
Yeah. An interesting duo, which I wish we'd kind of got to know a little bit more. We kind of learnt more about them through their deaths than anything else, really.
Yeah. I would love to see some sort of prequel about them.
Yeah.
That
Sadly, I don't think he proved to be popular within the ranks of Lucasfilm PR.
Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead.
Everybody dies. A tank, one of the Empire's tanks, enters the centre of Jeddah. Little Warwick Davis decides to cause some trouble with his crew and attack that tank. Cassian and Jin get caught in the middle and end up having to fight the Imperials themselves, as does K2SO, who's decided to come into the Jedi City as well and get involved. Things look to be in their favour for a while, until the Empire get hold of them. But their newly made friend turns up, and in a very impressive show of force, takes out the troopers.
Yeah, so I mean, you hinted about his force sensitivity earlier. I mean, he takes these all out whilst being blind.
Yeah.
So don't you find as well though any Star Wars project that's got the original Stormtrooper in it, like this had, like Solo had, and obviously like Andor, that really grounds it in Star Wars.
It does. It does.
And that helps with the Mandalorian with the remnant Stormtroopers. So to me, you see a Stormtrooper, you're back in Star Wars.
Yeah. You see the more troopers arrive in the background. Our good friend with his big gun, he takes them all out. I can only show certain things because we're on YouTube as well. I don't want a strike. So, but yeah, he shoots them all. And then the cast lounge around.
Would they be that sensitive about it?
Yeah, you'd be amazed.
Yeah.
With Google are fantastic at times.
Yeah.
And we've got a new bunch of mates. And they all get captured by Saw Gerrera's crew, who take them all kind of hostage and take them back to Saw Gerrera's base on Jeddah, where he encounters Jin for the first time in a number of years, and we get a little hint of the fraction between them. And his mind's a little bit gone, and he's away in the drugs a little bit, and it's all rather confusing, a little bit convoluted of a scene. I didn't like the scene that much, to be honest.
I could see what they were trying to do, but I suppose in the scheme of a whole film, they've not got enough time to explore it. That's the beauty of Andor, that there was time to develop the
Yes,
story.
yeah. Cassian, he's put in the jail with the rest of the new Rogue One crew next door to Bodhi, who's totally out of it. Not on drugs, but on gore mullet probings. But what was interesting, and which I did enjoy, was that Saw played to Jin a recording from Galen Erso.
Yeah.
And I thought she acted this really brilliantly. She got really emotional and really broken by it.
Yeah.
And they enter mix this in with director Krennic and Grand Moff Tarkin, doing a little demonstration of what they can do with their big energy project, and the attempt to revitalise the desert area of Jeddah City, and fire off some lovely energy beams, which creates a beautiful night sky, isn't that lovely?
Bit of heating.
That's like a tourist
Lovely.
attraction, that.
Like a green lightsaber.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But, it's new technology. You get things wrong. And, they kind of overcooked it a little bit. And kind of wiped out Jeddah City, unfortunately.
Whoops. Yeah.
These things happen. And causes a kind of tidal wave across the whole planet. And they start getting the feelings as the Earth starts moving, where Saw and Jin is. Jin's completely destroyed by the recording that she's just watched. Saw's still completely off his head. Everything's kind of falling apart in this kind of secret base of Saw Gerrera, which kind of reminded me a little bit of Indiana Jones and the temple, where they find
the Last Crusade.
The Cup of Christ.
Yeah.
Only a penitent man can cross.
You have chosen wisely.
Yes, choose wisely. Choose poorly. I choose wisely. I always choose Emperor Juice. Emperor Juice. Other brands of Coca-Cola are available. Oh, well, not other brands of Coca-Cola, other brands of Coke. Here we go. I've chosen wisely. But as much as things go wrong, they're very happy that that the demonstration of their energy conservation project works. Our Rogue One crew, we'll call them that, even though they're not officially Rogue One yet.
Not yet.
All managed to escape. It was quite an exciting action sequence.
Yeah.
Saw Gerrera doesn't appear to escape.
No.
And would appear
he sort of
most likely that he's gone.
Yeah, comes to terms with his end.
Yeah.
Detaches his oxygen tube or whatever it is and just goes, come on then, let's have it.
Yeah, it wasn't the best idea because, it's dusty atmosphere. Any time you needed some oxygen, that was the point.
I don't think he needs it much longer after that.
No. But they're all very happy aboard Death Star. What they just witnessed. Happy days.
Yeah, until they start discussing who it was that got it there,
Yeah. Obviously, armed with information from the recording, Jin and Cassian and Co decide to go to get Galen, who is now meeting with Krennic. And we learn that Cassian isn't there to save Galen at all. His mission, in fact, is to actually assassinate him, Paul.
Well, and he'd been told by General Draven that to ignore the initial meeting about rescuing Mr. Urso. It was all about actually getting rid of him. So yeah.
And just to double down on that, they sent in some X-wings as well.
Well, you can never be too sure.
Started blowing the place up.
Yeah.
And lots of explosions, lots of excitement, lots of tears from Jen, who has a dying Galen.
She got to see her dad one last time.
Yeah.
Bless her.
What does he call her again?
Stardust.
Stardust. That becomes important later.
It certainly does.
And she's not a happy chappy because she realises Cassian was there to kill her father.
Yeah.
And they have a little bit of a heated moment.
Yeah.
Talking about heated moments.
Oh.
Lava planet.
Yes.
You know, I kind of feel a bit sorry for Darth Vader. Not got the most comfiest of suits. You know that skin's got to hurt. And you know, if you get given a house with a job,
yeah,
you kind of hope the house is going to be, you know, maybe nice by the beach, nice views. Emperor's kind of done him wrong here, isn't he? Really, with this tied house. Yeah.
I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll put you exactly where it was that you transformed into that handsome young man, into that horrible creature you are now. We'll stick you a building right by it. What do you reckon? Oh, cheers. Yeah, not nice.
Krennic, he goes to visit.
He does.
Here's our man Vader. Very nice, beautiful set design.
Yeah.
They have quite a heated discussion, which leads to Krennic getting a bit of a choke.
I think that was the last time that James Earl Jones delivered the lines himself as well.
I believe that's correct, yeah.
Yeah, and he did sound a little bit off in places, you know, like obviously he was an old man by the time he got to record that.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. It wasn't a spellbinding performance. I can't criticise it, but it also wasn't spellbinding.
No, but I mean, all the same, it's always good to see a bit of Vader, and the fact that they've gone back to the red lenses as well, which ties in with A New Hope, is brilliant.
Then cut back to Yavin, where everyone's invited now. They're just all these guys from Jeddah that they've only just met. We'll bring all them back to the planet, and they can all step in and be part of the big meeting as well.
Yes.
And everybody said they go around the room, and everybody says hope at least once.
Yeah. I think even Paul McHugh said it, didn't he?
I'm pretty sure. He's in there.
He's there somewhere.
And General Radis.
Yeah.
Admiral Radis.
Admiral Radis. Yeah.
I just downgraded him.
Just Radis. Just scream Radis.
Just Radis. Take away his titles.
Yeah. I see he's not been to the island, does he?
He's been stripped his titles. He does go to what's the name of the planet? What's the planet at the end of the film?
Oh, don't do this to us.
He goes to Scarif Island. He goes to Scarif Island without permission. He's on the flight logs. And everyone says hope. They've all got hope. But the Rogue One mission effectively becomes an unofficial mission because they don't agree to go for it.
Yeah.
So all these people that Jin's met, most prominently, I guess, there's Melchi, obviously from Andor.
Yeah.
All the strays they've picked up on the way as well.
Yeah.
All
so these are all these are all scum, aren't they? These are rebel scum.
all the scum.
Yeah.
All the waifs and strays of the galaxy all join together and they form their little unit and they go to Scarif on their own. And the unelected senator of Alderaan, who only got the job because he married the monarch, and forced his political will upon the planet, meets there with the oligarch from Chandrila, who used our money to force her political will upon the galaxy without the support of the Chandrilan people. Discuss how they're going to run their rebellion moving forward.
Oh dear. But I mean, that's the only problem with the fact that Jimmy Smits wasn't available to film in Andor. It just makes it so awkward going backwards and forwards to the.
I actually think that Jimmy Smits has aged too much that he wouldn't have worked for Andor anyway.
Do you think?
I think so.
Oh, right, okay.
But
maybe that's the real reason. Then maybe they've hidden that reason.
I wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. They got him in and went, ooh, no.
So they're not united at this point, or the rebellion.
No.
We go to Scarif Island.
Now this was a lovely bit of kit, wasn't it?
It
This
was. It
thing
was
that
quite
they
an ingenious
opened.
little thing. I know we see this in other
Yeah,
sci-fi, but
yeah,
effectively there is a ring of protection around the entire planet. People can't penetrate it unless you're a small fighter, it would appear. The
yeah,
only way to access the planet is through this shield barrier,
yeah,
and when it's closed, there's no signals in, no signals out.
yeah.
And on Scarif Island is effectively uh, the Amazon servers for the Empire. And if they go down, all the banking services around the world would appear to go down, and all the shops go down.
There's no way they got planning permission for that.
Just like it happened this week.
Yeah,
Amazon goes down, we're all screwed. If
yeah.
Scarif goes down, Empire's screwed, it would appear. I would like to point out, though, like, just this as a side note, but this annoys me. If you sign up to Amazon's service for hosting your data,
Yeah.
you get to pick where in the world you host it. So
Okay.
if you're Lloyd's Bank, right, you would host it
Yeah.
in the UK,
Yeah.
surely for GDPR rules. But no, you're
Yeah.
hosting your data in America. And that's because where the problem was on the East Coast servers of Amazon, that's the default server. So it's just
Right.
absolutely laziness from whoever created Lloyd Services. I think there's a GDPR issue there. Side note is, don't know if GDPR rules apply to Scarif, but there's a lot of data there.
If they don't, they should.
They should. I think that, like, the likes of Cyril would have been on top of that. Because
Oh,
he was weights and measures. It kind of falls into that kind of jurisdiction, I think.
they really gave him the dullest job, didn't they?
And I actually think if you got to work for the Empire, right, I'm assuming, you're working a 5-day week, you get 2 days off and you're working on Scarif. Not a bad,
You
not a bad gig,
you,
that.
you're laughing. You
Yeah,
definitely.
you're laughing.
That's when the stormtroopers would look like the ones at the Lego game where they got the swimming trunks on.
The Rogue One crew and their ship managed to get permission to go through the shield and down and land.
Yeah.
We see the radio transmitter there because
Yeah.
the Empire wants to be able to transmit data out if and when they need.
Yeah,
See all the Rogue One crew all together for the first time.
including
pep
Rizzle
talk.
kicks. Yeah,
There we go. There they come into land. Look at that. That's a nice place to work.
it is. I'd be well up for that.
Almost coincidentally, arriving at the same time, Director Krennic.
Aye,
Um,
look at that.
they take hostage some Imperials and steal their uniforms, which they look quite good.
They do, but you don't normally see a scruffy Imperial officer like that. It's normally cleanly shaven.
They head on down to Canary Wharf and get the train.
Yes.
Here's this is another example of why the Empire's so great. Because, if the Emperor was a bad guy, he would have just made the people walk through the jungle in the heat, built them a train to get them into work. A little shuttle train there. That's the kind of generosity in the man. People taking advantage of the man's generosity and kindness. Here's the rebels running through the jungle.
Now that was originally going to be a bigger scene, wasn't it? That they're running through the jungle. There's an original version of Jin and Cassian running around at the feet of AT-ATs. I think it was in the trailer, in one of the trailers.
Okay.
So that would make for a good alternative. But this is where I've got a photo on this station. Hurrah! Canary Wharf, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was indeed. The rebels have their eyes on the entrance to the base.
Yeah.
They start attacking the Imperial soldiers. It's a tough gig having to wear that outfit, to be fair, on Scarif.
Definitely.
They start planting their explosives.
Yeah.
Krennic, he's up in the office. Not a bad view from your office, let's be honest.
Nice.
Nice
Very
plan.
nice.
K2SO starts interfering with other droids.
You couldn't have said that better.
And the rebels all take position outside of the base, ready to invade.
Yeah. Melching.
Cassian there inside. Start setting off the explosions. Krennic sees explosions happening all over the island, all over. Should we call it Scarif Island or Krennic Island?
That's it. He's seen it,
and immediately he's in a panic. He knows they're here for the data.
Yeah.
Jen and Cassian and Kato, so they're making their way through the building. Canary Wharf gets exciting.
Yeah.
Rebels start attacking. It all kicks off. What do you think of the shore troopers? You see one just in the background there.
Oh, I think that a great design. Love it.
Again, we see a droid committing violence on a sentient being. Mon Mothma's informed that they've made it onto Scarif.
Yeah.
And, she decides to take advantage of it and send some X-Wings to help. And then we get a little cameo there from two other abusive droids.
Which was nice to see, and is totally plausible as well, that they would have been there.
Does that mean that Princess Leia was there?
Well, maybe, yeah, she could have been.
She never turned up to the meeting.
Nah, she's busy. She's gone to, well, I would say she got to the beach, but that's Scarif.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing that you have. She's probably
She's
resting
hanging
with
out in one of the beach huts. Just playing cards with someone.
She's with Wilman.
The rebel fleet arrive at Scarif. That was quick.
Yeah.
And obviously they can't land on the planet, but the X-Wings and that can get through the shield, just not the big ships.
Yeah.
What was nice? He takes control of the desk and gives them access to the vault. So they go looking for the data. Jin gives K2SO a gun. Again, you're arming a droid to kill sentient beings. You mentioned ATATs, or they were called ATMTs, I think.
These were ultra.
Or a mix.
There was something like that.
That's an ATMT. That's an ATMT.
Yeah.
Some of them attacked by X-Wings.
Yeah.
We get some lovely shots as well, numerous occasions from the Mon Calamarian ships down just through the glass bottoms of the ships down onto Scarif.
And this was good how they used existing footage from Star Wars and some stuff with what was the guy's name? Oh, the actor Angus.
Yeah. We get our first look inside the data vault, and K2SO is trying to help them out, but he gets distracted by some Imperials, ends up fighting them, killing them. He's trying to organise things on the outside. They realise they need to get the shield down in order to send a signal out. He's working on that. And you mentioned some old footage in there. There's Gold Leader.
That's Gold Leader, yeah. And then we've got Angus McInnes.
Very cleverly actually done, because
it was
obviously there's a lot of new pilots in there as well.
Yeah. That was a nice touch, that was.
And Bodhi, he's trying to help bring the shield down, but he gets stopped by the shore troopers.
Yeah.
Things are kicking off with K2SO. They find the correct data tape, which is in fact called
Stardust.
Yay! It all links together. And we get possibly the best droid death in all of Star Wars. Because not only was it violent and destructive, it went on for a long time. I enjoyed it. And just to make sure he's dead, there's a one we had shot right through the heart.
And his eyes powered down.
I would have liked one through the forehead as well, but that's just my take.
Preference.
Bodhi's getting to work. Things are happening. Things are blowing up. But the big bad Krennic troopers, they arrive and they start kicking off as well. Cassian's climbing up the hard disks. Bodhi's trying his best to get the shield down. He explains it all to Radis. Jin gets her hands on the tape they need, and then everyone starts dying.
Yeah.
One by one. Melchi. Chirrut.
Chirrut. Yeah.
After he disarms the shield, of course. Yeah. Krennic turns up, gets a good shot in on Cassian. And this isn't a good shot, but go back and watch the film and just listen to the sound effect as he hits that bar. It's brilliant. I love it.
Yes.
Baze
Malbus. Yeah.
Yeah. He gets killed. Not before he has a touching scene.
Yeah.
I'm one with the Force, and the Force with me. It's all kicking off in space. We actually get to see Y-Wings bomb a Star Destroyer, which was quite nice to see. The shield comes down, but at the very point that the shield comes down, Bodhi gets blown up.
He does. Poor old Bodhi.
Baze, he gets killed in this scene as well.
Yeah.
And that's Jin trying to climb up the automatic closing and opening little vent to the outside, because she gets up to the satellite dish. She's got the hard disk, sets it in the computer, goes to send a signal, gets attacked by a TIE fighter, then attacked by Krennic. And he says,
"Who are you?"
Yes, which was actually, I had forgot about that. And then so I only realised having watched Rogue One to do this. What a nice callback that is to Cyril and Cassian.
Yeah, yeah.
A nice parallel scene. I hadn't done one before. Then he realises who she is, and he gets shot in the back by Cassian.
He really doesn't wait, does he, Cassian?
No, he's just straight to the killing. Something wrong with the boy. The Star Destroyers crash into the shield.
Yeah.
The Death Star plans get transmitted through to Radis. And to be fair, they're not the best of plans.
No, but they are as rubbish as they were in Star Wars as well.
To be fair, for the amount of money that Erso has been earning, he's kind of taking the piss a little bit.
It's a mock-up, and he's got, he says, "Look, I'm just sending you now just to see where we're going with this, and I will tidy it up." He's got a JPEG in mind. He'd be fine.
Whoever also added on the whole bit where the little bomb drops down the exhaust and goes boom, boom, boom. They're just taking the piss, that people. Radis, he's absolutely delighted that they've got the plans. He's celebrating until he looks up.
Uh-oh.
The Death Star cometh.
Hey, it's finally here.
Krennic, he looks up and he sees a Death Star.
And he thinks, "Oh, frack."
And we cut away to Grand Moff Tarkin. He says,
he's just happy that
fire when ready.
He's just happy that Krennic's gone.
The way he says that always reminds me of the referee in Gladiators. Going, "Gladiators ready."
You will go on my first whistle.
Cassian and Jin, they go stumbling out the base, see all the dead rebels lying all around them. These guys have got a tough job.
They've got the worst job, haven't they?
I mean, no rails, big laser weapon that destroys planets firing literally just yards from you.
There's got to be some form of radiation sickness coming to them.
It's like Krennic looks up.
Yeah.
We get a little explosion in the distance. But being Tarkin, he's a good shot. He takes out the top of the transmitter tower as well.
Yeah.
And from space, Radis watches on. We get the little explosion. The rebel crew, their fleet, all start trying to escape, but they're stopped by Darth Vader's Star Destroyer.
Yes.
and he's there watching what's happening.
Did
Meanwhile,
Radiss's ship get blown up?
I don't think so.
No. I'd love to think that he's still somewhere.
Jin and Cassian make it down to the beach and they see the big explosion on the horizon.
Ready
then
for the
have a
tidal
little
wave?
Look at each other.
Yeah.
At that point, he might say that he's married and his wife's got a child and living on a crop planet. You would think, or he might say something like, "Oh, I wish I'd rescued my sister who lived a life of prostitution." He might have said something profound.
But no.
No.
Your father would be proud
In
of you.
fact, he goes in for the hand hold and a little hug, which I think is getting a little bit inappropriate, Cassian.
I think he's just thinking, well, here we go.
Anyway, thankfully, being the violent rebel scum that he is, he gets wiped out. And back up above, Radis has transmitted the plans onto a card where these young gentlemen are now trying to transport it to their getaway vehicle.
Yes.
But one man has decided, I'm not having any of that. And we get a beautifully shot scene of Vader. Whooping ass is the only way to describe it.
It was unexpected and totally brilliant. It was such a real good ending.
But they managed to get the card away.
Yes.
And Vader has to watch on.
Yeah, that was quite cool.
And it ends up in the hands of this young lady.
Yeah.
Who we may recognise.
Her digital representation still needs a bit of work as well.
Yeah.
It's not quite right.
Not quite right, but it's not bad.
It's pretty good, but yeah.
But again, 10 years ago.
Yeah. And it was just great to see the ending like that.
And she gets asked, what is this? And she says, Hope. And that's how we end.
Which is a genius way to end it, bearing in mind A New Hope is next. So that's brilliant.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So what did you think of Rogue One then, Brian?
I loved Rogue One when it came out.
Yeah.
I thought it was a perfect balance of the look of Star Wars.
Yeah.
I thought it was the correct balance of what Star Wars should be in terms of action adventure. I thought it had a very passionate storyline throughout it. It introduced lots of new things, which I felt it maybe introduced too much that I wanted to know more about the characters. I would maybe have eliminated, for example, Bodhi. As well acted as it was, there wasn't much to his story, and you could have used his screen time to tell more about Chirrut and Baze, for example.
Yeah.
I thought Melchi had a poor death. I thought everyone had good deaths apart from Melchi. He was kind of cheap.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with the fact that Bix and the baby and the sister were completely ignored.
Or not even thought of at this stage.
and he's given Pedro Pascal type hugs. Is what I would describe it as. Is that really just a sign of affection, or is there a little bit more going on there? That's all I can say. But I thought it was a really well-made Star Wars film. I loved the way they actually used archival footage. I thought that was so clever.
Very clever, yeah.
I actually liked the CG. Use the characters.
I did.
It was just enough. And the technology has moved on, so you can criticise it. But the technology has moved on so rapidly. I thought it was good. It's what a Star Wars film should be to me.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it was commercially successful. As not being part of the saga film, it did incredibly well.
Yeah. Well, because it took us back to the era that everybody was familiar with. Yeah.
And out of all the new content that has been created in the Disney era, in truth, this is the only film that's been able to be spun off from.
Yeah, yeah. Now, for me, for many, many years, The Empire Strikes Back was the go-to Star Wars film until Rogue One came along. Now, Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars film. Um, I love everything about it. I love the fact that it's quite a brave decision in what's essentially a film that's aimed at not only us adult fans but also youngsters to kill off the entire cast. That's quite a brave thing to do.
Can I just point out that when you ask people what their favourite Star Wars films are, 90% of people will say The Empire Strikes Back and Rogue One. What is the joining factor in both those films?
That the Empire kicks ass.
Yeah, the Empire kicks ass. Deep down, people love the Empire. They just don't want to admit it.
Exactly.
If there was an election for Chancellor Palpatine, he'd be winning. And we all know it. People would be voting for him on their millions.
I'd grown up watching Great War films like The Guns of Navarone and Wild Geese. And this evoked that kind of memory. You know, this felt like a really great war film that you could strip the Star Wars out of it, and it would still be a great war film.
Yeah,
and
I think that's why Gareth Edwards was a perfect director to pick to do that as well, because he really wanted to do a really great war film.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether.
I don't know whether they'll ever come to fruition, but he was tied up with a project doing a remake of Zulu, wasn't he? But whether it'll ever happen, I don't know.
Yeah. I believe he's going to be directing the next Dune.
Is he?
Film. I believe so.
Yeah. I can't get into that. I started watching
everywhere.
I started watching the first one with my mates, and they said, "Watch this, Naylor, and see what you think of Star Wars afterwards." I thought, "Oh dear me, George, you just basically nicked half of Dune." It's it's a tricky watch for a diehard Star Wars fan, Dune.
It's not my thing, to be honest.
No,
not a big sci-fi fan.
No, nor me. It's just Star Wars.
But that, Paul,
yes,
is what happens when the Death Star comes.
Yes,
and the Death Star has come.
Technically speaking, it could come with one more time.
We could. December, we will have a special.
Do you think we should?
A New Hope 50th anniversary edition.
Get in.
just to mark the beginnings of the creation of Star Wars at Christmas.
I won't even have to look at
1975.
I won't even have to look at the crib sheet for who the characters are.
Dear. Let's do it. We'll be back in December for the last in the trilogy of the Death Star Cometh. Although it is a sad ending to the Death Star, to be honest.
But no spoilers. Oh dear.
It's my birthday tomorrow.
Oh.
Tomorrow being Thursday, because we're recording this on Wednesday.
Happy birthday for tomorrow.
I know I got for one of my presents.
Go on.
An ice cube maker that makes little Death Star ice cubes.
Yes, fantastic.
So I will bring them out for a New Hope special in December.
I can hear them clinking in the glass now.
And then all of a sudden they'll just crack.
Well, I tell you what, I might order myself some, so we've both got them. Well, happy birthday for tomorrow, mate.
Thank you very much.
When this airs, I hope you had a good birthday.
I will have had. So thanks everyone for joining us on this special looking back at Rogue One. We'll be back next Sunday with our usual blast of Star Wars news and Lucasfilm news if there is any. Lots to discuss, including Big Bob Iger's decision not to make a Ben Solo movie. Have I got opinions? Look forward to that. But in the meantime,
I've got opinions too on that one.
Good, excellent. We'll air them next Sunday.
We will.
On what note? It's a good night from me.
And it's a happy birthday to him.
Keep up to date with the latest Star Wars news each and every day on FanthaTracks.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, and Pinterest at Fantha Tracks. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow Fantha Tracks TV to be alerted to new content and to be a part of our live shows.